No, looking back on it, this series has been with me throughout my entire life. I first found out about the series in 3rd grade during a computer class, and I played the hell out of BTD3. Even though 4 was out, I just never played it. Then again, I never used the Ninja Kiwi website. Instead, I used good old Cool Math Games, which you now have to pay for? What the fuck is this? Anyway, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Bloons series and seeing how it has evolved over the years. Not everything though, because fuck that. That'll take way too long. But without further ado, let's begin. This is the game that started it all. The game that started a series that was very prevalent in my childhood. If you only know the series from the tower defense games, then boy are you in for a ride. The original game has honestly a really gross art style that the rest of the games have up until Bloons Tower Defense 5. And I know art style, it isn't like the biggest thing, but it really impacts someone's enjoyment when you're playing a game for a good amount of time. But how does it play? Well, you have your little monkey here, and all you have to do is throw your darts and try to pop the balloons without running out of darts. Seems pretty simple, and that's because it is. It's similar to other games that Ninja Kiwi has made in the past, kind of like Meeblings, in which you have a certain amount of the Meeblings you have to collect. Or Boombah, where you have a certain amount of they have this trend going for them when they're making Flash games. Now, what's interesting to take note of here is that the color of the balloons don't mean anything. They're completely random, and it'll be like that up until the Tower Defense series. But there are only 3 types of power-ups. From what I've played, I got stuck on this one level, and I just want to fuck that level. I can't do it. But if you play the tower defense games, you'll recognize these upgrades. They are the triple darts, which you throw triple darts, just like the triple dart monkey. The tacks, which explode tacks from that balloon. You don't throw any tacks or anything. And the boomerang, which throw boomerang, arcs, comes back. Pretty simple. Now, the only special type of balloon that appears to be the game, from what I've seen, is the ice balloon. And it's a fucking pain in the ass. I hate it. But, you know, it's there to make levels sometimes impossible to complete if you hit it, so it's a pretty good obstacle, so I'll give them props for that. A trend I've noticed in this game is that I see anyway, there are 3 types of level. There are levels that are easy, there are levels that are pretty fun, and there are those ones. The ones that you get so close to beating every single time, and it just refuses to work. Mostly these are the levels with the rubber that bounces the darts off, and this is truly old Flash games in their prime. Another thing that I have noticed, and it's truly annoying, trust me, is that if you're aiming a dart and your mouse goes outside the super tiny window that the game is in, because you know it's Adobe Flash, he's not going to register the click, and he'll trace it. No, trust me, he'll do that. He will not throw it though, and it's annoying because if he can follow the mouse, why can't he just? I know there are limitations to Adobe Flash, but come on, this is made even worse. Due only to the fact that you can have the perfect shot lined up, like you know, as soon as that thing lets loose, you are going to hit everything perfectly, but you're outside the window, and he's just staring at you with that face. It's like, yeah, fuck you. And it's just like, wow, thanks game. I truly appreciate what you're doing for me here. Another thing to mention is that the sound in this game is oh so good. It's old, crusty, and very, very loud. And for some reason, when I try to turn the game audio down, it just doesn't work. I don't know if it's Adobe Flash or if it's just my computer, but it refuses to turn down the audio. A very nice touch, however, is that players are allowed to create their own levels. And this resulted in the multitude of Bloons player packs. So, if you want to play more of this game, for God knows what reason, you have a lot more levels at your disposal. And If the game seems too difficult, don't fear. There is also a Bloons Jr. This makes the darts bigger, so that little kids and McGee can actually play this game. Now, for my ratings of this game, on an enjoyment level, I give this a 5 out of 10. As I had fun, but there was a lot of not fun interlaced in that. And for the game, I give it a rating of a 4 out of 10, mostly due to it being very dated and clunky. This is something you should only really play if you are really bored and have nothing to do and have an urge for just old Flash games. Well, after the interesting experience that was the original Bloons, we head on over to the Jolly Land of Bloons 2. This game is actually a fairly significant improvement over the original. It not only added new upgrades, but now has multiple worlds for a variety in backgrounds, and even gives you an option to skip hard levels. This is also the game in the series that introduced layered balloons, which is nice. Now, they don't follow the traditional colored format, they instead are have spots on them to indicate they're layered, but it's nice that they find their origins here. And the introduction of music in this game is a plus, but in reality, it's not all that great. It's the kind of music that you just sit back and register, but you don't really listen to the music. On a side note, I do always enjoy the way that levels are skipped in this game. It's actually pretty amazing, as it brings in the Super Monkey, and you destroy absolutely everything. Overall, this game is pretty fun. Well, it does improve on the original in many ways. I would say that it doesn't add really too many features to justify a longer session like the first one was. So, on an enjoyment level, I rate this game a 7 out of 10, as I actually had a pretty decent time playing this game. And for an actual game, I give it a 6 out of 10, as it is a solid improvement over the original. But now, it's time to move on to the first tower defense game in the entire series. The first thing I noticed when booting this game up is that the art style actually looks fairly worse. And that's actually pretty perplexing, considering it was bad in 2, because I still don't like that art style, but it wasn't as bad as it was in the first game. But getting to actual gameplay, there are many issues here. There are 2 little towers. Everything is way too expensive for the amount of money you get. You have a maximum of 40 lives, no difficulty selection, there's only 1 map, and the 2 upgrade pads only have 1 upgrade each. Now, the colored balloons layer system, blue pops to red or green pops to blue, that is introduced in this game, so it's got something going for it. Now, this overall means that this one, and specifically 2, are one of the hardest in the entire tower defense series due to how limited everything is. We'll say, though, the map is very forgiving, as there are places where it loops around and towers can hit things multiple times. Problem is, there's no targeting selection, so it kinda negates that, because towers that are useful are then chasing after balloons when they should be containing everything in the front if you have them there. But in a way, the map kinda does remind me of Monkey Lane, and it could be the original blueprint for Monkey Lane in a way. So that's pretty cool. I don't think there is a max round, as most tower defense games genuinely don't have a max round. But my highest round, I've only gotten to around the 30s, so it really shows you that the lack of upgrades kind of drastically increases the difficulty of the game. So, when ranking this, I will give it an enjoyment level of a 7 out of 10, as I do enjoy tower defense games just used as a genre, so it's already got points in that field already. But as a game, I have to give it a 5 out of 10 due to the lack of towers, the lack of maps, the really there's not even lead balloons and stuff, so it's not even that difficult. So I'm sorry, but you're just not that good of a game. But I do respect you for starting a series that we've come to know and love. This game adds not only more towers, but a difficulty and different maps associated with those difficulties. Now, that's kind of a bummer because, I'd like to be able to play certain maps and certain difficulties, but it'd be nice to play the hard map on easy or something like that. But it's okay. The hard map really is the main attraction in this game, though, only because it has multiple exit and entry points, making this significantly harder and more like a modern Bloons intermediate or hard map. On the higher difficulties, you have less lives, and things cost more than the base price. That is a Bloons tower defense standard nowadays, if you've played the later games. And the new towers that were added in this game are the Boomerang Monkey, Road Spikes, Monkey Glue, and finally, in the Super Monkey. These new towers allow for a more variety in your strategy, and obviously, give you a better chance to survive on the maps. Problem is, you still got the pricing problem, so the Super Monkey is very hard to get due to his high costs, and you not gaining any money as there's no other ways to earn money than popping the balloons. The introduction of the lead balloon and rainbow balloons are another feature that spices up gameplay and really makes making a strategy important because, leads suck, and really there's only one tower that can pop them in this game, which is the cannon, so goddammit, you better have one. This game is everything a Flash sequel should strive to be. That's not much, but it's what it has is really nice. And for my final rating for this game on an enjoyment level, I give it a 7 out of 10, as it's not enough to... I enjoyed this game as much as, the last one in terms of overall fun to play for me, but that's only because I really like tower defense games. On a game level, however, I am bumping the rating up to a 6 out of 10, as I feel the difficulty additions, the different maps, and the new towers really, and the new balloons really are a nice overall game changer. Mainly the difficulty is the game changer, but you know what I mean. This game bumps it up and really starts to make it Bloons. This is where you see the series start to mold and take shape into what it is today. It has multiple upgrades per path, which is very, very nice and needed, but, it's another thing to drain your fucking money. And it gives a nice variety in the maps, actually. This time around, every map can now be played on every difficulty, basically fixing the whole difficulty map type thing that I had with Bloons Tower Defense 2, which is very nice. The towers introduced this time around are the Monkey Beacon, the Spike Bolt, and the Pineapple. The Monkey Beacon is interesting, as its best upgrade is it unlocks another ability, which is the Super Monkey Storm. The Storm itself is an ability that will destroy all balloons on the screen, except for Moab balloons, which take significant damage from the storm. This game also, because I mentioned it, is the first time we see a Moab balloon in the tower defense games, and considering the upgrades and stuff in this game, this thing is very hard to pop. I'd say this is the last game in the series that could be considered, decent. Not really too great, because BTD4 is where things start bumping up significantly. Overall, on an enjoyment level, I'd give this game an 8 out of 10, as the quality of life improvements not only to the maps and difficulty thing, but the Super Monkeys being somewhat cheaper and the Super Monkey Storm upgrade really make this game a lot more fun to play. On a game level, it's going to stay a 6 out of 10, only because the additions in this game are nice, but they're not enough to push the game to what it really could have been. Unlike, however, Bloons Tower Defense 4. This is where shit starts getting good. Real good. It adds music for the first time in the Tower Defense series, and it's akin to what we hear in BTD5 and BTD6. And the new towers in this game consist of, and hold on, this is a fairly decent list: the Mortar Monkey, the Glue Gunner, the Monkey Ace, the Monkey Buccaneer, the Monkey Apprentice, the Banana Farm, the Spike Factory, and finally, the Dartling Gunner. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of new towers. This time around, the upgrades are in a linear progression type system, so instead of going left side or right side, it's just one after the other. This is unfortunate, but there are still 4 upgrades in total, so it's not too bad. And the monkeys aren't the only thing getting ramped up in this release either. There are the additions of the Zebra Bloon, Camo Bloon, and the Brutal Floating Behemoth, also known as the BFB. Things are really getting ramped up this time around. The graphics are actually a little bit more refined than the other games, and they even added 2 other modes of play, being Apocalypse mode and Sandbox mode. Apocalypse being the greatest challenge in the game, and also being, fairly fun to say. Another thing to mention is that the Temple of the Monkey God also makes an appearance in this game, but not in the way it does in the later entries. It's more of a map gimmick that's actually really cool and nice to activate. This entry in the series is where you can feel the quality getting way better, and it becomes fun to play over and over and over again. But we can go even farther in terms of quality. Rating this game on an enjoyment level, I would give it a 8 out of 10. Due to the fact that this game is very fun to play, as it's more modern, it's got quality of life features, and you just got a lot more things to play around with. For a game level, I give this a 7 out of 10, as it adds enough to keep the game fresh, interesting, and able to play for a long time. Well, the reason it's a 7 is because this game. Now this is the granddaddy of them all. A game with so many extra features and content that it's actually somewhat overwhelming. This is by far the most popular game in the series, and it's actually still receiving updates to this day. The most recent one was 30th of June. Bloons Tower Defense 5 is what happens when you make a Flash game with so many features, it becomes something greater. An actual game. This is the first game in the series to actually cost real money, and it is the first in the series to appear on Steam. And this game is massive, with the additions of the Sniper Monkey, Ninja Monkey, Monkey Submarine, Bloon Chipper, and the Engineer Monkey. It is the game with the second most towers in the series. Damn you, BTD6, you had to come out when I made this video. This game adds even more balloon types, like the Regen Bloon and the absolutely massive ZOMG. This thing's it's really cool, but damn, the first time I saw this, I know for a fact I was scared. This game also adds a new extreme difficulty to the tracks, along with, intermediate, hard, and all that, and in Palpable mode, where the towers are the most expensive, and you only have 1 life. The daily challenges that they added in this game are fairly nice and actually give you something new to do every day, because, they're daily. And the special missions are either really fun, like the Wizard Monkey, which I can't show you because I've already done, or they are completely infuriating and make you want to rip your own eyeballs out, there are a couple of them in there. The 2 upgrade paths from everything except BTD4 also return, and you can now upgrade 2 levels in one path and 4 in the other. This makes towers a lot more powerful and more fun to use than ever. Although, all you're really going to be doing when you get late game is getting 4th tier banana farms and just gaining massive amounts of money, because some of these upgrades, they're expensive. The first thing you'll notice when you boot up this game is that there is an XP system. The more you use a certain monkey, the more XP you get. Not only for your level though, but also for the monkey itself. So you get XP that goes towards your overall levels, that upgrades more towers, and you get the XP going towards the monkeys, which unlock more upgrades. I see them making this as an incentive to keep playing over and over again to unlock everything, and god damn it, it really is. Sad part about this though is that it could take a while, and you don't notice it your first time playing through, but my count data just kind of reset for absolutely no reason, so I decided to go back through and unlock everything. Ooh, it took a while, but hey, at least it's not as grindy as Bloons Tower Defense 6. The system for Monkey Money is actually pretty good, but only for the Steam version of the game. The Steam version gives you a lot of Monkey Money for beating hard maps on hard difficulties, as it should. The mobile and Flash versions, however, give a lot less only because they are cheaper, and the Flash is free, and they both have microtransactions of some sort in it, which it sucks, but especially for the mobile version, you can play and never spend a single dollar. I know I have it personally. But the version I recommend the most would be the Steam version, even though it costs, $10. Overall, I feel like it looks better and it is the best version of the game you can get. There are a lot more additions to this game I would go into, but since this is a review with multiple games in it, this would be a lazy cunt and not go over it. But in my opinion, this is the best game in the series, and it's had the most impact on the fanbase as a whole. Overall, on an enjoyment level, I give this game a 10 out of 10, only because this game is so fun to play. It's got co-op, all this stuff. You could have a lot of fun with this game. And for the actual rating I give to the game, I was leaning very hard between an 8 and a 9, and I decided to give in and give it a 9 out of 10 because fuck you, this is my review. And it's actually a really, really fun game. Now, I was originally going to also include Bloons Tower Defense 6 and Bloons Monkey City in my review, but I decided against it. For Bloons Tower Defense 6, I decided the game literally just came out and isn't in its full state for me to review it. And Ninja Kiwi's even stated that they're going to be adding more towers and content in the future. For Bloons Monkey City, it's because I haven't put as much time into the game as I would like to, which is a good thing because I'm actually fairly certain the game would destroy my entire life, but it also means I have no grounds to review it. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for dealing with me. This is my first video on the channel, and I don't have any more plans on reviewing Flash games or multiple games in one video, mainly because I want to go more in depth with the games, and if I do it something like this, and I felt personally that I was just rushing through some of the other ones, so that's really why I don't plan on doing that anymore. And with the two scales I used, I'll probably bring them back, as I think it's a way to show what I thought of the game for me actually being a player and playing it, and then with the game I feel actually is as a solid game. Now I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'll try to shoot for around a 10-minute minimum with my videos. I don't know about the other two guys, they can do whatever they want. This won't always be the case, of course, so don't hold me to it. And if you enjoyed this video, how about clicking some of the shit on screen, and I'll see you in the next video.